Schedule live. We are live, and we are back on Monday night with Gasoline Garage with Copperhead Customs from way down under. How are you, Copperhead?
I'm very good. How's everyone?
And we're tickled to death, man. We got Mikey Brown from Paper to Pavement tonight. I hope everybody's tuning into this because he has got some cool bills. We've been following, and just kind of the luck of the draw through Jamie Phillips. I got hooked up with him, and the way I found him is actually there was a picture of the pickle jar. And I posted it on my YouTube, and everybody's commenting, "What the heck is this thing? What is this thing?" And then Jamie said, "Oh, I know this guy. I know this guy." So he sent me. But I'm gonna introduce Mikey Brown. How are you, brother?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me tonight. I'm excited to be here.
Shoot, I'm tickled to death to be here, man. This has been pretty good. This bill that you've got, and your YouTube channel is Paper to Pavement.
And, my YouTube channel is Paper to Pavement, and that's with me and my business partner Trent Sherrill of Speed and Culture. You know, it was magazine, now he's doing books. So I've got him doing the tech side of things, and I'm doing the dirty side of things.
Well, you got the fun side.
I mean, it depends what you call fun. It's nightmares most days.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. But yeah, I'm not too much with the books and the magazines kind of stuff. I'd rather get my fingers mashed with a hammer trying to beat a fender in and all that good stuff. Goes. But anyway, well, we got
unfinished projects. Said grab your pickle and let's go.
Oh, he
has said he enjoys your custom upholstery. So you have a upholstery shop, is that correct?
I did for 10 years. Mikey's Custom Upholstery. That's how most people know me. I'm the upholsterer to the stars. So as you can see.
Hey, come on, now it's a family show. You're cracking me up.
Yeah, so I rock the hashtag and everything. You know, I'm a marketing whiz. So
you are a marketing whiz. I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna go get me a tattoo right on my face.
Hey, if you want an upholstery shop to take off, get a tramp stamp. It'll work every time.
I was just gonna say they call them tramp stamps down here.
Oh, hey, I'm as trampy as it gets here in Deputy too, buddy.
Okay, we've started the show down low, so we can only go up from here.
I hope so. You know,
I got lower.
No. We're good. I had this gal that I know back years ago. She got a tattoo of it was a beautiful, it was like a little flower, and it had a little butterfly over top of the flower. It was the prettiest thing you ever seen. But now she's getting old like me and wrinkled up, and the flower's kind of shrunk down, and that looks like a pile of poop with a little bee over top of it. But
yeah,
that's why.
Well, I mean, hey, the thing is though, it's closer to saying what she meant it to, which is I hate my dad. So it's a whole lot closer now than when she got it.
Yeah.
Alan's Cars and Stuff's here. Hello, everyone.
Nice. How's it going, guys?
We've also unfinished project said he has a feeling alcohol could have been involved.
It has never been involved in a thing I've made my entire life. I am this messed up, all natural, never drink a drop.
I love it. Yep, I love it. That is so funny. But anyway, so now are you still doing the upholstery stuff?
No, I am doing like what's left on my schedule, but the YouTube channel is like that's my job. So I'm content creating, I guess is what you call it now. I don't know. Yeah. This is 2023. Back 15, 20 years ago, they just said, you know, like you didn't have a job. So now it's like I'm chasing a dream, you know, like that's what I'm really doing here.
I think everybody's trying to get there, you know, but it's up and down, man. You know, that's the funny thing about it. They had a live stream the other night. We was talking to them. I actually had to resubscribe to Copperhead Customs YouTube channel about a week ago. I told him, I said, I had to resubscribe to your channel, and he's co-hosted on it. We've been on this thing here for, I don't know how long. And it unsubscribed me to your channel. I don't understand it. You never know.
Yeah. He makes out he's watched every one of my videos, but maybe he doesn't.
Yeah. Now you know that's BS.
I do it just trying to figure out what he's saying. You know what I'm saying, mate? Yeah, mate.
Oh, that's good.
It's not that bad.
I like this dynamic, man.
Yeah,
this is pretty cool.
I'm gonna try it. Let's see if I can do this now. If folks that's not seen this car, here's the finished product right there. That's with the family and all.
Yeah, and that's the pickle jar right there. So the whole idea behind this project was I had 40 days, you know, to do a project, but it's so cold in Deputy that I had a friend that had a little like small ranch in Texas, and he said that I could use his 1-car garage. So it worked out to where it was like, well, it's warm there, so I can get it done and not have distraction that I would have at home. And then at the end of it, I planned on driving it home if I could. But I mean, that's a real $5,000 budget, 40 days and 40 nights. Like that's real. That's a real deal. And I did get it running and driving. That's right now out of it. It spit the rear end immediately. Like as soon as I started driving it, the ring and pinion in it was garbage. So it was just an old marketplace score. So rolled the dice and came up short there. But as far as the gamble as the project as a whole, I think it worked out really well. You know, I mean, from what my little drawing was to what it turned into was really close. And it was kind of to prove to myself that I could build something with no resources, kind of, you know, the pickle jar is built off of the scraps of every project I've built up to this point. You know, I build a car, I can't afford to keep it like most people. I sell it, and then I have everything it left behind, which is usually just parts and pieces. And that has turned into a pile, you know, taller than me.
Yeah, I'll throw nothing away.
With parts, you know, I'm having so much trouble getting parts for the other cars that one was like, well, I got 40 days. I guarantee I have a pile of scraps. So this is my only, like, that's all I can pick from is my scrap and see what I can come up with. So that's kind of a back against the wall, guys. I needed content, and I also needed a truck. It just filled, I don't know, it filled so many needs in my life right now. I don't have a car. Like I have a Yamaha Zuma moped. Like that's what I got. So the pickle jar is my car.
So now what frame did you use on that? That's Chevrolet truck frame?
Well, what it all started as is a 72 Volkswagen, actually. So the whole front frame clip is a Volkswagen beam. And then it's all like those rails that you see on the side are 91 Dodge D150, just leftover rails from a boy that put a gas truck on a diesel frame.
Oh, okay.
And they're 32 Ford fiberglass fenders on the back.
Yeah, so the front fenders are 72 Volkswagen. The front fenders are 72 Volkswagen rear fenders turned backwards. And then the back fenders are 28, 29 Model A front fenders turned backwards. Okay. So everything is the exact opposite of the way it's supposed to be.
Those Volty fenders work all right backwards, eh?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I just did an upholstery last year of a Lincoln Zephyr. And every time I walked in, I seen the slope of those front fenders, and I was like, man, that's a back fender of a bug. You know, so I ended up, those back fenders I never found a use for until then. You know, I've carried them things around since I was 15.
I love it. And the rears. I like the rears. I seen the rears, and I was looking at them today again, and I was going, that might work on one of mine. I've got a heap of parts everywhere. Like I have a bit like a laydown yard. They're like semi garden art, I turned it, but I was looking, going, I could pull those fenders off of that and use them as rear ones.
It's so fun.
Then turn them, then flow them into running boards, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's fun, and I do that not out of like want. I kind of do it out of have to, but it's brought me into a lot of, I don't know, cool designs, like from the cab back on that, you know, like from the back of the cab, I didn't know what I was going to build. Like even when I was leaving to go down there, I started having anxiety attacks. I was like, I don't even know what I'm building, and I'm leaving. I'm 1,000 miles from home. So that bed came together out of all like those those front fenders that I turned back fenders, and everything else was just exhaust tubing and, you know, just garbage that are laying around my buddy's farm down there. So the bed,
that's where the good stuff comes out. That's when the good stuff comes out, is when you just let your head go. So that's like how I build. You have more of a plan than me, I think, because at least you draw a picture. I just have the few random parts and then think, oh yeah, and then I start cutting into it, and then it always changes as I'm fabricating it. It turns, and then I start seeing a vision, and then it you know, it's like, so even my original plan then morphs into something completely different. I end up building generally 9 times out of 10.
And it ends up making it more enjoyable, like the whole ride. You know, there's a lot of spots on that, like the running boards on the side that are at an angle. I was working for, I don't know, like 18, 19 hours straight without taking a break. Wasn't paying attention to my cuts. That was supposed to be square. You know, I wasn't supposed to be at an angle. But I cut the wrong side. I didn't have no more pipe. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to put it on here. Like, I'll tack it there and see what it looks like. I like it better, you know? So there are certain things, you know, that I make mistakes all the time and just ride with them, you know? That's another reason, like, I really hound on the fact that we live a story and then tell the story. You know, so many people are like, well, man, make videos as you go. Guys, without any funding, like, the plan has to change so often that I don't want to contradict myself 1,000 times. I'm trying to live stories, like live all these crazy 40 days and 40 nights thing, and then just tell you how it went, you know, because everything does have to change on the fly. We'll run into even this rear end. Thank God it broke loading it on the trailer instead of in St. Louis, you know, or halfway home. Like, everything happens the way it's supposed to, and I just try to surf it all.
Well, I think it's great, man. You know, a lot of people, and we do that. We fix cars up best we can, put them together. But this, what I call Dare to Be Different. I remember back, Hot Rod Magazine did a thing called Dare to Be Different. And these cars, and then growing up, you know, a lot of folks back in the 70s when they customized cars, they take parts off of other cars, tail fins or whatever, and combine them to different cars and come up with something really, really cool instead of just restoring, you know, a car. I mean, you know, and I'm not throwing off on anybody's Chevrolet or anything like that, but, you know, you go to a car show and there's hundreds of 55 Chevrolets or Camaros or Roadrunner, but, you know, that's something that's just out there far out wild, like this thing here. And that's an Isetta front end used on that thing. That's an Isetta cab.
It's an Isetta roof and front door. Really, is about all I ended up using off the Isetta. And that Isetta was the parts car for Big Deal. Like, I have another Isetta that's a race car. That
would be it right there.
Yeah, there it is.
That thing is wicked. That's
got a cone shovel in it. And that is, I mean, that's what inspired the other, you know, the pickle jar, because I had all the leftover parts from that car from Big Deal. And then, I mean, I don't have the transmission went out of my truck last year. So do I take my transmission money and build a transmission? Or do I build an Isetta hauler? I mean, that was an obvious grown-up decision I made. So I have a 2017 Chevy truck back here with no transmission still, but I do have an Isetta hauler. So
that is just wicked, man.
What gearbox you going to put on that shovel?
I'm running. I mean, right now, dude, I'm running the shovel and the 4-speed. You know, the Harley, and then it runs to a jack shaft back to. I mean, essentially a junior dragster rear end. I'm from Indiana, so we have Mosier here, and I like trying to use them, you know, if I can. I've been partnering up with Mosier a lot more, so I'm trying to build. I don't know, man. I'm trying to, more than anything, build relationships with parts and pieces for that. And I don't know much at all about Harley engines, transmissions, anything. So I'm planning on just running it, breaking parts, and upgrading from there, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, you know.
So I used to build bikes back in the day. I used to love shovels, and we used to put electronic ignition on them. I used to put CV carbies off of an Evo.
Okay.
They you know, to make it a bit more reliable. And then we used to, I used to put a 5-speed off of Evo as well. We used to put the kickers still on them. Like it's all sort of stuff that they reckon you couldn't really do, but we used to do it. So
that one's kick and, you know, like it'll have kick and a key, but like the whole idea with Big Deal was it'll have another car like a villain or hero car. And I'm kind of trying to go for like that snake and mongoose thing. Everybody knows me as Micro Mikey. So, I mean, when I show up to the shows, I want to put on a show. So like Big Deal and all of these little cars I'm going to do like a heads up match race kind of, you know, show, like a traveling show is what I really want to do with them. So
I could not imagine.
Know, man, the Harley people, like when I got into doing that, I just thought that I could kind of learn off those guys. And I'm learning a lot of Harley guys are harder to get information off of than, you know, than Volkswagen people for sure. Like most Volkswagen people help me out a ton. Harley guys are like, oh, you like Volkswagens? You know, so I don't know.
I
I learn by failures more than anything. You know, I hope if anyone watches my show, I get poked on a lot, you know, because they're like, does this guy know anything? And no, I don't. I don't know anything. I'm just I'm trying, you know, I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
I'm from a town of 38. You know, I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of mentors, and the ones I do have are gone. So I'm carrying the torch for those guys, and I ain't trying to let them down by giving up.
Mikey, don't let nobody kid you. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Nah,
they just claim
no
they know what they're doing. They don't know. And they're just like me.
Everyone.
Copperhead. We just
Everyone's
trial and error. My daddy told me you'll learn a lot of don'ts in life. Not many do. So just keep learning don'ts. But I don't know, man.
And that is how you learn, though, isn't it? Is you just get in and start doing stuff like.
Well, what I've actually learned that I'm like, I hear all these guys that go, oh, it's all about who you know, you got to know the right person. Well, guys, all you have to do is shut up and work really hard. And those people like start introducing themselves to you, you know, all I've done is work, you know, I was raised by people that were, you know, if you want more, work more types, you know, so every time I start writing down a list of all my goals, I'm wasting time. Like, throw that away. Let's go. Let's just work as hard as we can, because at the end of the day, every goal I've ever made just been a limitation that I drug my feet to, you know, and I don't know, everything that we're doing with these race cars. I like building the race cars more than I like building like the pickle jar. You know, the pickle jar is like for me personally, and those are for, like, I want to do Hot Wheels, you know, I'd like to go to the Hot Wheels Legends tour with those and compete with them, but I'm not trying to make artwork. Like, I'm not trying to make artwork that is art. I'm trying to make functional artwork. You know, I want you to look at a little car and giggle, and then see that car do a wheelie, you know, or see like the pickle jar and go, oh, that's a cool little rig.
Well,
and
now
then see me pulling 2 race cars with it. You know, like, I build these things to use and beat up.
You've got a Fiat 500, I think. Do you drag race a Fiat 500? I used
to race a Fiat 600 called the Krusty Krab. Yeah. I mean, I just don't have enough money to race Volkswagen power competitively.
Right.
I tried to, and that I raced with Sega, with the Southeast Gasser Association. I'm in H-Gas, so I run with we call ourselves the Island of Misfit Toys. It's all 6 cylinders, 4 cylinders, Volkswagens, you know, like it's an oddity class. And I was trying to get that little car to work, but I just had too much motor and never could build a strong enough chassis, you know, and drivetrain to really hold it. I just kept blowing things apart.
I can understand. I think they're cool, man. I like your builds you're doing. I mean,
Thanks, man.
This pickle jar thing you got going on. I mean, that would be an ultimate Hot Wheels car. There's no doubt that.
Thanks,
especially if it comes with the dill pickle or what do you call it?
Yeah, that's going to go on the back. Yeah.
Yeah, big deal.
Big deal on the back.
Yeah, that would look insane. That would look insane.
That would look, honestly. I mean, yep.
Yeah, I mean, my thought was like I've really followed that Hot Wheels Legends tour a lot, and their whole little thing is you win that show, you're a Hot Wheels, like you get a car. So I seen last year a 4-wheel drive one, like a monster truck type thing, and I was like, oh, they're going in other lanes. Like, they're not just doing regular cars on the packs. No. They just did one that's going to be a monster truck. Well, then as I go to the store and look, I'm like, oh, they have their hauler set. And that's really what fired me up, because, you know, I mean, with me growing up, I grew up out here, like, it's all farm ground. So I'm more interested in the trucks than I ever was. We never had any race cars, dirt cars, you know.
That's when we got dirt.
Yeah. So you have dirt cars, and, like, trust me, the guys that had like really cool stuff, it was always what they were hauling with. Their dirt car was just as rough as everybody else's, you know. So I'm kind of drawn to the haulers more, just being kind of where I'm from. And then with it being a flatbed to haul, you know, a little race car, I don't know. I just thought Hot Wheels has got to notice it, you know, whether it does well or not. It's one thing. I don't really care about that. Just getting it done, showing up and be able to pull in front of that giant backer board and get that picture taken. Like, that's a dream come true. It's getting close too. I'm getting there.
When is it going to be?
I'm waiting on that schedule to post. I mean, I'm probably closer than they are at this point. My timeline moves a little faster than most. I've been waiting for them to post a schedule for about 2 months now, but one way or another, I'll be ready. I'm the pickle jar. I'm shooting to have it at Beatersville, you know, which I'm not 100% sure when it is, but it's usually like end of May, so I'll take the pickle jar. That's the goal, is to get it to Beatersville. That's kind of a local show too. I've won it before with a truck I built called the Pearl Necklace. So it was a purple and white truck. A lot of people probably know me from that truck too, but I won Beatersville with it in 2017, I think.
And it's called the Pearl Necklace.
Yeah, the Pearl Necklace. It's a Ford F100.
That's the one that you had. That's the same paint job as that little dragster thing, yeah.
Yeah, they were both came out the same time.
Yeah,
it was truck was purple and that was pink, but I doubled them. Like it was really a pair.
They were in some magazine or something too, weren't they?
Yeah, it was in. That one was in Traditional Rod and Culture when Traditional Rod and Culture was in.
Yeah, magazines, man. Now that with Facebook and all that, that's like Eastern Hot Rodder. He had a killer magazine, and man, it just went down because nobody buys magazines anymore. Everything's online,
Yeah, and I don't sport that. I don't sport that at all. I like reality.
Right.
I like seeing people make stuff that exists. The world of just I would much rather. This is awesome because we're from all over the world. But I would much rather us be sitting at a table together. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you get from the experience with a magazine. Like I know for a fact with a magazine or a book that the guy traveled there. He lived there. He slept in his car. Like to me, that matters because I'm a builder. I'm on that side of the table. I want guys to be appreciated for their efforts. And in this world of anyone can snap a picture with their phone and send it in, it's getting to where everybody is getting, involved and piled all into one. And you are losing a lot more avenues for me. I don't even consider myself like a hot rod builder as much as I do just like an artist. Like I just like making this fun stuff, My thing is paper to pavement. So I just want to make them exist. I don't even care, how they perform or anything. That's the whole goal with me getting better doing many of them. But with with books, I don't know, man, the whole idea of, and I'm on YouTube, but the platform we do is documentaries. Right. So I'm not making YouTube videos for YouTube. And that's what we're running into a lot of the magazine guys that were so good at that. Great editors, great photographers. What are they shooting for now? Because, the avenue from video is, it's flooded right now. There's so much to compete with. So I don't know. I'm sending a lot of love out to those guys. I hope they end up finding, a spot in their own that really needs that skill set.
Well, I know what you mean. I'm with you, but I love it. And Copperhead does a lot of that. He does a lot of that build. He's building, what is that Ford you're building right now? And you just finished that other one. He built one for, was it $5,000? I think you built that little
Bedford was 5,000 Australian, which is like, it's not a lot American realistically. Like when it works out that it's like $2.5, $3 American. But then when you do the prices of stuff, it was probably like closer to 1,500, 2,000 American. I built it.
That's cool. And what was it?
It was a Bedford. It's called. So they're like they're a British. They started as a British company. So they're in Australia. The same companies sort of built Bedfords and Chevs, and they built a whole heap of the different cabs. So it's similar to it's a little stubby nose little one. So like the cab, like the firewall isn't just flush. It's like your feet stick out in little boxes, and like so it's tiny. It's really tiny. Like
I got it.
I
actually look like I look like Sylvester in Tweedy's cage in it when I'm in it. Like,
it's a cool build. It's a cool build.
And that was just built with like
man.
what we had lying around. Like the tray was made out of an old fence, and it was just done. And in that, like, there's $1,000 steering column in it, and it's got all new brakes and suspension and bushes, and so majority of the money was in that. The actual build itself, like so it's a running gear. It's like all brand new in that price. So,
well, man,
we scabbed up everything. Like I pulled down
awesome.
a
Did you do a video of this?
Yeah, there's about 50 of them. That was when I first started YouTube. So some of them are they're pretty raw, like as in, I didn't even know how to turn a computer on a year and a half ago. Like,
oh, dude, I still don't. I was scared to death I wouldn't be able to do this. Like you were saying, oh, hook up to the computer, do all this. And I'm like, guys, if it's much more than hooking a phone up, I'm like not the guy.
No, you just mashing.
That was me.
I totally feel you, brother.
Now I think, I don't know. Now we're getting a bit, but so now I'm building a 38 Chev, but it's an Australian 38 Chev cab. So
it's a truck now.
They're all like little truck cabs that I do at the moment. So this one, the cab itself's built by Holden's because Holden's, you would have heard of Holden before, have you? Yeah. Right. So they originally were a body building company. They weren't a car. They just built the bodies, truck cabs and stuff. So there's a whole heap of different brands that all were built by Holden. So like that Bedford, the cab was built by Holden as well. And so it's loosely designed off of a 38 Chev, but it has like these three big ribs that run across the roof that are real nice, and it's a little bit different.
It's a good looking.
So that's what we started now. We've done it's got a 5-inch roof chop, and I've just fitted like a Dodge nose cone and bonnet. I didn't even know what the bonnet was off. So now I've sort of got them loosely mocked up, and now we're I'm going to move all the body lines and do so that all the parts flow, so they all look like they're like put the body line off the cab onto the bonnet and do all this, so that everything looks like it was all, that was all
I
together.
dig it, man.
And then the tray was like, we bought this little tray. I think it was off like a model little tea bucket or something. I reckon it was like $50.
That's the pickup. The bed is what they call the tray.
Oh, the bed. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, we got it was this weird little tiny thing, and we chopped it all up and changed it. And all I did, I say we. Sometimes I say we, like because there's a few people inside.
I do too. I do too. Well, I'm noticing listening to you. I'm noticing listening to you. I'm like, man, this guy's a little too much alike. This might get weird here.
A bit weird. Oh, hey, you just keep that bloody shirt on. That's all. Don't go showing us that rear end again. We'll be all right.
Yeah, well, you get white trash up here. So.
It's all right.
Hey, I got Australian made on mine, Nick.
Hey, that's right, man.
I ain't gonna
Australian made and white trash are close enough. We're brothers.
I got a butterfly right here somewhere.
That's good, man.
Is that the one with the flower?
Yeah, I got a little flower and a butterfly right here.
I dig it.
What we got on the comments, man?
We had it was a while back now. We had unfinished project said it's no banana hammock. That's to do with the pickle jar, I think. And then Auto Salvers Outlaws is what is going on in here. And then he's just asking if unfinished project and Alan Cars were still in the room. And that is unfinished project. I'm up with their lingo now, these guys. ASO is Outlaw Salvage. Auto Salvage Outlaws. They're talking to themselves at the moment.
Okay.
This is what we're talking about right here. This is the pickle jar that this young man just built in 40 days. 40 days. And y'all might have seen where I posted a picture of this on my YouTube channel on the got a lot of comments on it. Everybody's freaking out. And then come to find out that I got a buddy of mine, Jamie Phillips, that knew him and hooked us up, and we thought we'd get him on here and talk. Now, what kind of motor are you running in this thing? Is it 6-cylinder, or what do you got?
Yeah, I run, the 6-cylinder Chevy is my go-to for about everything. I think everybody starts with what they can afford, and I've just always stuck with it. They left me on the side of the road enough that I developed a real personal relationship with a Chevy 6-cylinder. So now I can change a head gasket in 35 minutes on the side of the highway.
No, I know how that is.
Just ask me how I know. And then, it gets to the point to where you're like, oh, that thing broke down on you. Why would you keep doing that? Well, it's because I went through a training ground for the 6 months I own it on how to work on the thing, Yeah. So by the time it's all done, the 6-cylinder Chevy is just always stuck around. I've run them in my drag cars. I've run them in my street cars. And with that one, that was a pull out for an LS. So everybody that's diving into electric right now, I think what they're really skipping is hot rod recycling. If you guys want to do something green, how about you stop so much stuff from getting wasted? Well, I love using this garbage. To most people, they see that 6-cylinder and they go, oh, that's a pull out. It doesn't make power. I see it and I go, that thing's got 40,000 original miles. It was taken care of. It was always put inside. The guy just wanted to go faster. I'm willing to take my time for the money. It costs me nothing and I get to build something, have fun, and it's reliable and it costs $300. They're fun.
It's on the same. So everyone over here is putting LSs or Barras, which are a Ford 6-straight-6. They make ridiculous horsepower. So everyone's putting them in everything, and they just throw away basically. So we have a 202 Holden 6-cylinder, which is very similar. They basically look identical to that Chev, and you can pick them up for like $200, which is very cheap over here at the moment. And same with 283 Chevs and stuff. They just ripping them out. You get them for like $1,500 because they're just putting LSs and everything. And so I grab all that stuff and put it in my stuff.
Well, it's good. I'm just drawn to older looking stuff. I'm not going to say I'm a traditionalist, but I'm traditionally, minded towards a lot of things. And I think that's just came from the people that taught me, all they really knew was old school ways of doing stuff. So I was always drawn to that. But man, I just kind of luck out to the people that I'm around and into drag racing. Well, guys, I get more track time than all of you going slower, so I get more money per dollar showing up. I don't get the thrill. I ain't chasing the thrill of speed and all that. That doesn't do it for me. The chase of the thrill of speed is building a car in 40 days for me. I'm not trying to test the machines as much as I am myself, if that makes any sense.
I like the stuff I growed up on, man. I like the 340s. I'm a Mopar guy. I like the 340s. I like the 440s, and I know LS and all that stuff is great, and they're easy, but they can't be no easier than a 340. And unless you're just day in and day out racing, a 340 will take you as fast as you want to go. And as far as
my whole thing is when I got into the race cars, like dirt track, then I was, every car doesn't have to go 600 mile an hour. If we want to go fast, we go racing.
Yeah.
We just do these comments here. I'll put this up for you.
Hold on, man.
That's my Bedford.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I dig it.
I was looking for that here.
I got you.
I know
got a bonnet and stuff on it. See the hubcaps? They were made out of stainless salad bowls.
I like it. That's wild.
So they were like $8 for the hubcaps, and So I'll just do the comments. It's Auto Savage Outlaws said he's seen that that cool build in 40 days. That was cool. Alan's Cars and Stuff said he's still here. He's buffing his 61 Cadillac, getting ready for the car show and listening in. And Auto Savage Outlaws, Alan's Cars and Stuff, same here. Cool cars here.
Oh, well, let me ask something. Now we're talking to Alan Cars and Stuff. He said he's got a car show Saturday.
Cadillac.
Where is the car show at Saturday? Where's the car
show at, Alan? And John Wilburn says, hello, gentlemen. He's obviously talking to me again because I'm the only gentleman in the room.
Yeah, you remember what I told you a gentleman was, right? You're definitely the only gentleman in the room.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know John?
I don't.
No, you need to know John. He's got a they're having that No Name Nationals. You ought to go to that. I can't remember where it's at and when it's at. John, you post.
We have that every day here in Deputy, Indiana, man.
Yeah, that's that little truck he's building right now.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So that started off, that's a 33 Chev chassis, and I bought it. It was a fiberglass 32 pickup.
Okay.
And, it was like 90% done, as in like first fixed, if that makes sense, you know, the mock-up. And then I just didn't like the fiberglass, so I sold the fiberglass and I had that cab and said, no, let's go do this. So I haven't done a lot yet, but so I basically had a car that was 90% done and tossed it and used the chassis, and we've started to get from scratch. So the metalwork on that, I think, owes me $300 for all the cab and all the parts on the the actual mock up there owes me about $300. So.
I think that truck looks better than the fiberglass thing you had.
I reckon.
John, where did he say this is at? You got that?
John Wilburn says Sixton. What's MO? Missouri.
Missouri. How far?
Missouri. I think that's when his No Name Nationals is on the 29th month. So the 21st of September. I think that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it, guys? Is it a race or is it a car show?
It's a drag race. It's a drag race.
Okay.
Okay, what it is? There's a bunch of YouTubers trying to build their YouTube channels up. John helps them out a big time. He helps them out, and I always try to go, and when he does his live stream and all these guys, I try to sub to them and to help build their channels. But you got to have at least 500 subscribers to come to the show, and then you get to drag race. And it's a all weekend. They have the burnout contest and the whole 9 yards, and it's pretty much YouTubers. I mean, it's just like me and you. People like
90% YouTubers.
Guys, I'm looking for this guy. I'm looking for him. So I was going to ask you after this. I'm to the point where that's the whole reason I've been doing all this crazy time frame stuff. I'm trying to show people that I'm not just a talker, I'm a doer, So I see all these guys going head to head, building fun stuff out of, very little. And guys, I'm challenging y'all. I don't think anybody can do as good as me. I'm the scrap king.
Whoa. Listen to it, man.
I'm going to pitch the promo for you right now, buddy. Ain't nobody outdoing me out there. Nobody.
You just wait. Yeah, I'll show you. I'm going to build I don't know what I'm going to build, something. Anyway.
You got your dirt track car. All right, Alan's Cousin says Marietta at Piedmont Church. Piedmont Church. It's all Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and Cadillac.
That's a cool show. That sounds like a cool one.
Yeah, I would love that.
Show. Yeah. Auto Salvage Outlaws. He said he'll be back in a minute. He's got to go to the shop. And Unfinished Projects giving him a hard time, saying he's got to go do a beer run.
Bring me a root beer. I don't drink beer, but I drink the heck out of root beer.
And John Wilburn has said we have call out racing. Sounds right up your alley.
Oh, son, now.
Hey,
don't worry. On their live streams, they're all calling each other out.
I'm going to be fast. I'm saying I'm going to be building cars. Okay, so. Hey, if you look up my videos, you can see me breaking a lot of cars.
You had a Chevrolet, I think you blowed up or something the other day. I watched.
Oh, brother! If you've seen me in a race car, I blew it up.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah. If there's any picture of me out there in a race car, just know that's right before parts went scattering.
Now, do you live pretty close to the drag strip, or?
No, I'm. To be honest with you, Indy is probably. I mean, other than a little bitty track that you can't take a fast car to. Probably Indy is a couple hours from me. So, I mean, drag racing wasn't something I got a hold of until, I'm talking in my 20s, probably, really. So this has been I kind of got introduced through the Meltdown drags. And, I built a little 100-inch wheelbase, 6-cylinder dragster called the Seam Ripper.
Right.
And that was almost for promotion. I'll pull it with my truck to get upholstery work. And then, man, after I did it, I was like, this is so much fun. You don't even have to go fast down a racetrack to have fun. You don't.
Right.
There's pictures of me midway down the track pausing. I'm like, hey, and for my pictures, from my guys on the fence and stuff. So. You can't do that in a car going 9 seconds down the quarter mile, but a car that's going 18 seconds, you can stop for photo ops and everything. So,
well, John Wilburn says that they have at the No Name Nationals a U-Haul, a Model T racing, and then they also have 5-second cars down the quarter as well. And he also says that Silkston is 5 hours southwest of Indy.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I'll hook you up with John. If you don't care if I send you his number, or you can either way. And
that'd be fun, man. To be honest with you guys, more than anything, I'm from this little town. Right. I live down a little gravel road, and everyone says, "Oh, this guy's world famous and locally unknown." I mean, I'm just from such a small town that I'm trying to get out there with more people, and this is the kind of thing that they like. People like John is who I'm trying to meet that can tie me to other guys that are into what I do, because right now, I mean, I'm pretty well going to car shows or even races and they're racing for points and stuff. And like, I'm not racing for points. I'm just there to have fun.
Well, you're at the right place because these guys are just a bunch of fun-loving YouTubers, and they're having fun building their cars, and they show
Sounds like it, man. Sounds like a good time.
They show up and they break stuff, and I'm going. We bought a dang circle track car. It's a asphalt car, but about like a dirt car. And John told me to bring it up there, and hopefully I'll have it done.
That's cool.
I'm gonna take it up there and see what. I mean, I'm gonna probably pull. I won't never get 5 seconds, I'm sure, but I might get 5.5 seconds because I'm a really good race car driver. My problem is that I'm gonna have a drag racing.
Hey, if it's 5 seconds to 60 foot, I got it every time, man.
Your problem is you keep turning left. You got to go straight.
I want to go to the end of the track. I want to turn left and go back. You know,
hey, did you see me turn left in Ohio in the Fiat 600? I turned left before the tree. Like I was in the other lane, and I triggered the lights in the other lane.
You had to get a trophy for that.
Well, I'm a dirty pair of underwear, maybe, but no trophy, man. So when you have a spool in a car that's got a 74-inch wheelbase and it breaks an axle, it just went boom sideways immediately.
That had to be fun.
John Wilburn said yes, they just have fun out there. He also says we have 1 or 2 other circle track cars racing on the drag strip.
That's
cool. NSB custom cars. I'm getting my 5-second pass this year. Dang it! And he also says, "Howdy, fellas." Howdy, NSB.
I could probably get 5 seconds and a quarter mile if they let me start about 1.5 miles back before I get to the 3. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot me out of a rocket, man.
And John Wilburn,
I couldn't fall off a cliff 5 seconds.
He also says that that their trophies are hilarious. So they, I think they make them up.
That's cool.
I think I've seen the Burnout Comp trophy was released the other day, and it was like a epoxy cube with last year's winners, half of his tire rubber and metal.
He said 8th mile too, so I'll have to push it back, half track instead of.
That's right. Well, when you break, you don't have far to go.
So I like them. I like them. Everybody goes, "Hey, you want to do the burnout competition?" I go, "Yeah, let's have it over by my trailer."
Yeah.
They have a burnout competition too. I think they got a whole weekend of stuff up there.
I can't afford brakes, man. So
like
just go
wide open, full lock.
Just go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
He said NSB Custom Car says the No Name Nationals last year was the best event we went to. So much fun. The only bad thing about it was that it had to end.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And
I take it that like we can record and everything. I mean, I would like to build now. You've got me wanting to build something, to kind of do
lead
a build up to
it. I would say you'd be able to do the whole thing. John, can he record there? He also says we have worst oil down trophy made from last year's grenaded connecting rod.
Ah, there you go.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like the biggest blow up gets a trophy from last year's biggest blow up.
I got to remember to put oil in.
Hey, that could be the next thing instead of a burnout competition, the blow up competition.
Blow up comp. They used to do that back in the day.
Hey, I got it in the bag, boys. I got it in the bag. Yeah, hey, now I can really start talking confident now that we got blow up trophies.
He's also said, yes, you can make content and share it around. No dramas at all.
Guys, hey, that's what we need to know. That's good. I'll be there, John. You heard it here.
Yeah. I'm gonna try my best.
You can go on to him and you can actually like sign up and enter, and then your name gets put. I'm pretty sure your name gets put up on a like an entry list type thing for all the other people in the little community can see, and then go over to your channel and look at your stuff and whatever cool. As well.
I mean, it'd be cool to drum something up with them to kind of do a build up to it. I'd like to have kind of know who I'm going to be racing.
Dave Saylor. Sorry. You're right.
Oh, that's fine. I was just saying, it could be really fun doing a build up to his show.
Yeah.
Dave Saylor says that's a very creative hot rod.
That is cool. Jar. I'm gonna show a couple more pictures though that hadn't seen.
Yeah, thanks, I reckon it's wicked. You've got my.
Yeah.
You've got me, my creative side going.
Well, that's the wrong one.
Oh man,
That's a dunny. I don't know if you know what a dunny is.
I don't.
Yeah, so that's back in the day over here. They used to, I think, well, you would have had the outhouse, yeah?
Yeah.
Like the
Oh yeah.
dunny. Well, we call them a dunny, and they used to be out the back. So, what? Right. Well, the backstory to this is, I sent Stephen some jars of Vegemite, and on the camera, he sat there and stuck his spoon in and ate 3 spoons of it like it was peanut butter or something, like, and it's not how you eat Vegemite, right? So
I don't even know what it is.
The gas come in, and I had to do it. So I did it, and I was that crook because it's like it's not that nice. I tell you, when you do it like that.
No,
so I was crook as. So that was my mate did that picture because that's what was going on with me a couple of hours after the show.
Nice.
So anyway,
yeah.
we got
Pavement. That's what they're asking what your
channel.
Oh yeah, my channel's called Paper to Pavement.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's also on Facebook. There's a lot of stuff on his Facebook.
There you go. Well, it didn't come in. It's anyway, Paper to Pavement.
Yeah, and all my day-to-day stuff is on Instagram, Mikey Brown 1957. Even with the pickle jar that you've seen, if you scroll back, you can see I tried to do like a daily log. So it's day 1, day 2, all the way through the 40. So you can kind of piece it together there. But right now we're taking all that content and making a full movie, so it'll have to be a documentary on Paper to Pavement. Just like I built a Nash on there, the banana hammock movie. It's on Paper to Pavement right now. You can see kind of the format we're going with on, the pickle jar movie too.
Okay, it's called the banana hammock. Which one is that one now? The banana hammock?
The yellow and white one.
Okay, that's the little Metropolitan. I've got a couple of them, man. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. I mean, I've had them forever.
I'll get them out there, dude. If they're that big a hassle.
Come on down. My kid says I've got to get rid of some of this stuff.
Every time I see one of your videos, I see something else in the background I want to build.
I've got it. Come on, I'm waiting on you.
Well, I was wanting to ask you because you said you just kind of get started and don't really have I know you have a plan for what you're going to build, but do you build the stuff in your head? Like, is that how your creative process goes? Or do you just like, I'm tight. I'm so curious of that kind of stuff.
I'm really tight, so I don't want to spend any money. So that's the first.
Yeah.
That's my first thing is that I'm not buying anything. I'm using what I've got laying around. So like that tray, I had no idea what I was doing with the tray. I just knew that I had this $50 bed. So I had this $50 bed and I had to try to make it fit. So I just started chopping at it and got the grinder out. And then the picture started changing in my head of what I was going to do with it. Like,
what's your background? Like, if you have to build from nothing though, do you use round rod or do you use sheet metal? Like, what is your median to like eyeball? Like, do you use a lot of cardboard or? Because with me, I see like this is how my brain works. Like, and I've never, I'm trying to figure out if this is a good way or if there's a way to like dial it in. I see these things done, completely done, and then I dissect it in my head. Right. And when I run into stuff, I'm like, ooh, similar. I fill it with mostly round stock. Like I'm kind of, my head is like, ooh, build it all like a skeleton out of round stock, and then fill all that in with sheet metal. I didn't know. If you
I'm that tight, I won't even go and buy round. Won't even go and buy. I'll go to my scrap bin and just see what I've got. Yeah, so that's why my stuff just changes because I might have an idea of what I'm thinking, and then I'll go see what I've got, and then I'll go, oh, all right, what can I make with what I've got? Okay, that will give me similar to my vision. You know what I mean?
I got you. So you're building, say, a roadster, and then how that roadster plays out is based off of your parts pile. Then
basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So like this truck, I was like, all right, I think I'll use that cab. That looks good. Then I just said, all right, we need to chop it. So then I said, I think a 5-inch chop will look right. So that was the first port of call. Then I was just looking at it going, rightio, I've got this. What am I going to do for the back? I was thinking of doing like a flat bed, but then I'm like, I've got this stupid thing. Let's bring that down and hack into that. And then I went, oh, that's starting to look like something. And at this stage, I didn't know if I was putting guards on it or I was having an open wheeler or. So then I went looking around what nose.
So it's that loose, like you're loose.
Yeah, what nose cones have I got?
Fenders or not?
Nah, I'm still undecided on the fenders. Like I think originally it was, but then it's like, oh, I don't know. I think I'll do an open wheel one, and I'm still looking at the rear fenders now because we have to run some kind of a fender here. Like you can run a little one, but it has to have something.
Oh, that's a law. Like that's
it's a
I
law,
got you.
so you can't have them totally open. You've got to run I think it's 15% in front of vertical forwards and 15% below horizontal. So it's got to cover a third of it at least. So like I just went, all right, what nose cones have we got? Like so then I went looking around and what I had and said, oh, we'll try this thing, and like there's no way that was going to fit, so I chopped it all up and like I said, and then we just went from there. So that one there, that started off as I found that cab in a paddock. It was $300.
This is so cool.
And the chassis, and I just had this thing that just to throw that one's not chopped or anything, and that was just to put that cab on a chassis, and that's all I was going to do, and I was going to sell it. Like, and then I put it on. I said that looks pretty cool, and then so I said, all right, let's build it, and then I said let's build it for $5,000. So that one I didn't do like much cab fabrication. I just sort of like loosely built like the tray. The framework of the tray is a set of shelves that I had in the shed. I had one shelf left over, and I went, oh, let's turn this into a tray. So that's how like stuff and like the headboard was a bit of a fence that I had laying around, and
which makes it more fun like that. I mean, to me, those are the kind of things that end up being my favorite parts of a project when it's done. The pickle jar, the back window of the pickle jar, that shape, I wanted the silhouette of an Izetta. Like that's the shape I was going for. And I got that out of a front windshield out of a Chevy. Like that back window is, say, a 35 or 36 Chevy truck windshield frame turned upside down narrowed is what that is. So I like doing what you do. I like seeing stuff for what it's made not to be. It kind of makes the whole thing fun.
Yeah.
The latest one I'm doing, I'm doing more fab on the latest one, like as in more metalwork, and I'm changing it up, and so like at this 2 days ago it was going to be open hooded, no bonnet, and then I started messing with this nose cone, and like that nose cone is off a Dodge. It's completely wrong for it, and I cut it in onto the chassis rails to push it, to make it, I don't know. So I had this vision of having the little frame horn sticking out of it, and then I went, oh, maybe I'll have a look for a bonnet. So I went looking around and grabbed this hood bonnet thing, threw it on, and then went, oh, and it just completely changed it. I went, that looks good. So that's how a lot of it like will evolve. Is I'll just go around and grab something and then just sit it on there, and then I'll just go, oh, if I do this with that will work, Or
do you have a big parts pile to pull from?
Only stuff, not huge, just other trucks and wrecks, and so when they come up really cheap, I'll go buy one. Like so the old trucks or whatever that they're out in the middle of Australia, and if they come up for $300 or $400, I'll go grab it.
So your lane is trucks, like you fall into the.
It's just that's cheap. You can't get coupes or nothing over here without paying. Like you have to second mortgage your house to do that.
It's always easier for me to get an old truck just from the area I'm at. To me, the AD Chevy truck, the 47 to early 55, like that one, I can get them because they're 1 ton, 1.5 ton trucks here. The cab is good. I don't know if you guys seen the race car I was racing with Sega, but that's the reason I used the Bug Zapper. I built it in 28 days last year, and it was for the same reason. Like, it wasn't because I really I like trucks, don't get me wrong, but there was no brand preference chosen when it came to what's going to be the race car. It was whatever's cheaper, and that usually always ends up being a truck cab for me. Every time a budget comes up, truck is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Well, now here's a bill I done not long ago. I do body swaps.
Oh my goodness! Is that
Copperhead? What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that car right there. I did my mind.
So, yeah, I'm sending you some pictures so you can show him this.
Hey, anybody that can make an Isuzu rodeo worse You talking about trophies to be made? Have homeboy make a trophy for that guy. That's the trophy to be made.
I really didn't do that. That's just some stupid something I come across.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I actually have one of those Willys wagons like that. One of those Willys wagons like that. I have one of those in for a buddy of mine doing upholstery in right now. So
I don't know why you give up upholstery, man. I mean, they're digging for them here, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with stopping doing upholstery to do something I really want to do is everyone really lets you know what you're useful to them for. So I get it, guys. Everyone wants me to do upholstery, but these hands can't take the work ethic that I have in upholstery. Days start for me when I wake up and they end when I go to sleep, and I fill all that with work. I hope that in the 40-day, 40-night project that you understand that wasn't 8-hour days,
Right.
And I don't know, man, like it finally, I feel like now getting to build and have an outlet where I have more than one thing. When I just sit and sew, at the end of the day, my hands are locked up. My elbows are locked up to where I'm just not pleasant to be around for my wife and kids.
Yeah. There's that truck there, Copperhead.
Okay.
Can y'all see it?
Yeah, that's cool. Is this the one you're building now?
That's what I'm building now. So there's that's just like the bonnet and nose cone have just got fitted, but there's a lot more fab happening on that front end that I haven't really.
I love that top.
Oh, that's cool, then. I mean, that thing looks good.
So I put the see the ribs on the roof. I put one of those ribs on the top of that nose cone as well. I don't have fancy tools, so I just did it with a hammer and the back of my vise and made one of those ribs and welded that onto the nose cone. And I'm going to do some more like transfer body lines from the bonnet onto the cab and the cab body lines onto the bonnet. And I'm going to morph in the front of that grill onto the bonnet so that they flow in together. So see now the thing's really starting to evolve in my head. So now all of those parts will look like they were off the same truck, that I'll make them look original,
Yeah, you got your bones lined out nice there, man. That's a cool looking little rig.
What is the hood on? What is the hood for that thing? Did you say it was?
I'm not sure what that's off. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's something 30s because it had the little notch out at the front for the radiator. But
that's
like the same that sign that was never going there. I was making something else, and then I looked over and I had the sign, and it fitted perfect. I went, oh well,
and it makes sense.
It's made to go there, and then because the front of that tub, it has this. It didn't have that front bit boxed in, and I was looking. It was a really weird tub. Like I got it for $50. They're normally about $2,500 over here, and you can't see the front of it, but it's got this real big curve that sort of went around the bucket, like of a tea bucket, like a bathtubby. And and then I was looking and thinking, and then I boxed it in and made it a separate little storage thing. And so inside there's another floor, a little low floor. And then I've made like that. That's like a hard lid that I've made there on the top. That's on like gas struts.
That's awesome.
And like the same, like even the wood, the way I did the woodwork, like wood people would cringe at what I do. Oh, they would. So I just hit it with an angle grinder, and then I threw the stain on, and then the stain doesn't even. I put the stain on, and then I varnish it straight over the top. Like everyone would be going, "Oh, what's he up to now?" But it ends up looking good.
I say, don't sweat the petty stuff, pet the sweaty stuff.
There you go. I love that. That's cool. Yep.
It's what it looks like at the end, isn't it? Not how you got it there.
It's fun.
John Wilburn said to you to get in contact with him.
Okay.
Stephen has his info. He said he loves the red V-dub in that video. Wow, that's cool. He's talking when we were doing the design, the CAD. There's the cardboard aided design.
That's me.
What it is. And then he says that's neat. A fun fact is that started out as a Plymouth Duster.
What did?
That's Stevens build. Started off as a Plymouth Duster.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully
that's that thing you put up, Stephen.
We're gonna put the motor in this week. We're fixing to start. I had to fix the mud buggy today. I've got a thing called a mud buggy that we bought at a wrecker auction. It was a Geo tracker, had been rolled over. I mean, it was level, and we cut the top off of it, put 2 seats on it, and it's like a redneck golf cart. We use it for everything. We pull with it, we push with it, we haul with it. And
I love it.
Yeah.
And Auto Salvage Outlaw says, bring that 6-cylinder Chevy.
Oh, whatever I'm racing, I'll have a 6-cylinder Chevy. I guarantee it.
I think he's meaning the which one is it? Now I've got confused.
Let me ask you something on that pickle jar. Now, have you drove it yet? I mean, is it something?
Yeah, I drove it in Texas. I drove it. The thing that ended up happening that really sealed the deal on me not trying to drive it home was the brakes never showed up. So I ended up piecing it all together with the old brakes, and I got them to work. But I was planning on going to disc brakes and everything, so I didn't have the right master cylinder for it all. And I'm finishing it up now so I can drive it to Beatersville. That's my real goal. I didn't want to do anything unsafe and get anybody hurt.
Well, now, do you get in it like an iSetter? The whole front opens up.
Yeah.
And shuts. And did you use the original stern wheel on that, or is that something you changed? Because I know the stern wheel all comes out, right?
Yeah, no, I ended up having to make it all. The reason I picked the Dodge chassis, I mean, we found one, but the reason it was the Dodge over the Chevy and everything was because of the kick down under the cab where the cab was going to be. So just the way that it swooped and everything, the body, I mean, man, it saddled the body about perfect and stayed completely out of its way. So the seating position and everything, I ended up getting probably, 10 inches extra room that an Isetta never had, so cool. Everyone was was really worried about where are you going to put all this stuff. But, once you stretch an Isetta to the wheelbase of a short bed Chevy truck, there's a lot of room to put everything,
Right.
You're getting called out already. Auto Savage Outlaws, bring that 6-cylinder and I'll race you in the slow T-Bird.
There you go.
Hey.
He's ready.
Where's he from? Where's that guy from?
Action Auto Salvage.
Auto Salvage Outlaws.
Auto Salvage. I'm sure we know.
I got to follow him too.
Where you at? Yeah.
That's cool.
So being a upholstery guy, you'd so some of the, how you chop all these rods and stuff, and everyone just does bomber seats or whatever. And one of them I bought, and it had this thin little tiny seat. It was horrible, and I actually turned it into this big, huge, comfy seat. Okay. And then I chopped the roof. So when we got in it, it had this hard little narrow seat, and my head used to basically hit the roof. Then I put this seat in it that's like 10 inches of foam in it. It feels like you're sitting in a Mercedes, but shaped it all different to push your bum forward and your back down and everything. That's what I was getting at. Is there's a bit in that, like that's what you guys do a lot of that to change the shape, to change the position of your body to fit.
Yeah, I mean, I tailor make them. That's the perfect way to do it, is to tailor make it to whoever's driving it. So if you've got the opportunity to set them in it, once everything is where they want it, then I can look behind them and go, okay, this is the gap I have to fill. This is the shape. And then I usually try to draw it up with them there. What started happening though was, and this is what kind of COVID brought in, was foam got so hard to get that people stopped spending money for me to make seats. They were bringing me like old junk, to try to turn into things that they wanted. And I ran into a lot of, like you were talking, thin, flat. They think that's the answer to get space, and it's not at all. How you contort your body is how you save space. And you can just about fold yourself up look at a folding chair. Look at how your body sets in a folding chair.
That's what I sort of did is I made myself sort of lay down a little bit more in it, and it is so comfortable. And I'm like, I've taken this horrid, uncomfortable thing and made it like, I reckon I could drive in that seat like 1,000 miles. And
well, now, awesome. Copperhead, tell him how if you don't care, if you don't want to,
right, now you're making me feel a bit funny because we're talking to a gun upholsterer, right? So
I know, but
I've told you I am tight as anything, right? So
as tight as Dick's hat band, as we say, tight as Dick's hat band.
I went and bought a sewing machine because I can't afford to pay like someone like you to do an upholstery. So I just went and bought a really good sewing machine. And
exact reason I bought one. Exact reason I bought one.
So I'm that tight, I won't even go buy the leather.
Okay.
Lounge.
I am the tightest person you've ever met.
Well, wait till you hear this one, right? So over here they have the Italian leather lounge suites that are like $20,000 to go buy that have
That would be
wicked
a couch.
couch, yeah, full hide leather in it. So I'll go buy one of them, and I'll cut it all up to get all the beautiful leather out of it, and then I'll get all the and then that's how I make my car seats.
I like it. I ain't got no problem with that.
It works
so
good.
It's like
it looks good.
They're either free or $50 they owe me, like generally. So I just got one. I picked up a real rigid edge crocodile leather. I think I paid $50 for the couch, and that's what I've done. I've got another few other builds, but I've got an old Oakland convertible roadster pickup that I'm doing, and I've done all the interior in this crocodile leather, brown crocodile leather. So
I like it, man.
Like,
that's awesome.
I mean, all of
my
interior
stuff ends up being with drops from other stuff. You know, I do, like you'll see in my own personal cars, I do a lot of interiors, and just because I don't have enough of two, you know, I usually only have like a yard or yard and a half left over from a full job. And after 10 years of setting all that stuff back, I mean, I finally have enough to kind of do my own stuff. For the longest time, man, like I sewed to keep the lights on here. I couldn't even afford to sew for myself, you know, and there's a big part of that now that's kind of the same. I mean, I'm almost in the same boat you are. I have been buying, if it's a really good looking seat, like let's say it's a big Ford seat, like a full size 72 Ford truck seat, and it looks good. I've been buying those, like if I like the material, to cut them down for, say, you know, a Model A seat, just so I've already got these big plate. That's what you call it, like say the diamonds or sewn or anything. I have these big plates made, piled up back here of other jobs that weren't bad. They just didn't like the color or something. And I'll put them on stuff for myself, whether it be to sell, to do anything. I mean, I do that too, man. Like I have a whole recycling center here.
Well, so the back of that crocodile couch was all done in little which way the camera? All done in little
rectangles.
Little rectangles, the whole back of it. And then I was like, oh, that looks cool. So that's the door card.
I dig
done.
it.
All fancy. All I got to do is like fold the back on and bang all these door cards that look like I've sewn me like crazy, and all I've done is to put a border on it. Like,
that's
so even my dodgy sewing skills can still.
So what kind of sewing machine does it? I mean, it take a special machine. You can't just get like a Singer sewing machine. You got a special machine that you have to use for that.
Well, I mean, I always, if you're going to do it for a living, like the things I always tell these guys when they ask is, you know, look for a machine that's got a reverse, that's an industrial machine, you know, and I like a top load bobbin. I like being able to load my bobbin from the top of the machine and not have to fold it and get to it from the bottom side. That's kind of the main difference to me, is a top load bobbin and a bottom load bobbin. Most new machines, like big name places, and if they're a lot of times, like if it's a sponsored shop or something, they're pushing for a bottom load machine. And I have better luck out of old top load machines. Like my machines cost $400 or $500. I ain't buying. You will not see me with a $6,000 machine, and that's kind of been the whole point of me. And that's why I've had so much fun talking to you, because I am like, I go to these places, meet almost, I guess you'd call it like a mixer, to see these other guys. It's almost a competition on who's got the most expensive tools, you know? Right. And I go, ooh, guys, I showed up to the wrong party, because there ain't nothing of mine that's not wore out when I get it. You know, I cannot obtain it if it's not broken or wore out. I can't get it. So or it's a gift. I mean, if I have nice stuff, it's because a friend of mine was awesome. That's why, you know.
The only way I acquire Snap-on tools if I buy a car and it happen to be one in the floorboard when it comes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that ain't no joke.
Mine's Craftsman junk. What we got on comments, man?
Fox can fix it. Garage says he's coming in real late, but he made it.
Hey, Fox. Hey,
welcome, bud.
Yeah, we got Paper to Pavement calling everybody out for drag racing. He's under 5 seconds.
Unfinished Project has said, Mikey, you look like you've lost some weight on purpose? ?
Well, yes and no. My wife got a gastric sleeve surgery done to lose weight, and I was 350 pounds, so I started doing it too, and I was planning on getting weight loss surgery, and I need to make a movie called Work Your Butt Off, because that's all I did. Like, I I cut out sugar. I stopped drinking calories completely. I don't drink any calories at all. And I just work from the time I get up till the time I go to sleep. And I've lost 125 pounds. So
wow,
that's all
crazy.
you got to do.
Yeah, but here's the
Yeah,
thing.
well, that's funny you say that. How tall are you? I just hit 350 pounds. We work in kilos, eh? So, and I'm like, man, that's huge. So I've actually on the downslide too. So,
but here's the thing,
That's all-
man. I'm overweight too, but hey, I got a baby face. I ain't got no wrinkles. It's all stretched out and fat. So I mean, there's a win-win to it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I hide like 5
collagen.
or 6 leftover chins under this beard. So
All right. Auto Savage Outlaws said if you're under 500, you get on the 500 list. Yeah, he's got more than 500. Auto.
time out. What is it?
Says
Wait up. Under
Well,
500. Is he telling me that like he's going to build a car that races for under $500?
No. He's meaning. So what happens if you're under 500 subscribers on your YouTube channel? They get in and they all pull and they put you on live feeds and they do all this stuff to build you.
Okay.
They put you on this little list.
I think I'm over. I don't know. I'm
I think
one
you're
of
at
these guys that my
4,000.
buddy, you know, like Trent does the technical side of it, and I just do this. So I'm not sure what I have for sure.
Okay, I'm with their lingo now, Stephen. See, UP
I'm glad you are.
beer.
What do you got? I know idea what this is.
So NSB says UP with the beer. He's saying unfinished project, and then unfinished project saying NSB, which is NSB custom car. So they're on the beers. Those guys anyway.
Oh, okay.
NSB is in the house.
Now we got
and now they're just all saying hello to each other.
They're buddies.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I like it here. Everybody's friends. You know, your
I
comment
can't get up with the
sections are
lingo,
friends.
man.
Everything's good here. This is a safe place. This is a real safe place right here.
Yeah, there's no. I can't say that. Sorry.
I'll say this: there's rednecks all over the world. Trust me.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Rednecks all over the world.
No ego swinging contests in here. We're all just like, we're not those sort of people.
Except for
It's fun.
Copperhead. He's a
I mean,
gentleman. Copperhead's the only
I
gentleman
always
in
tell
I'm a
everybody I'm
gentleman.
an open door policy. You know, if you come in and feel good, stick around. If you don't, the entrance is an exit, man. Like we're having a good time in here. So don't be a fuddy duddy, you know?
There you go. They ain't none. I guarantee you that's right. And that you said the head Fox can fix it. He's a mess. He's always posting some crazy stuff. So he does. I thought he was a Fox body guy, but I think he's a Mopar guy.
He's funny. He come out yesterday. He come out with some funny comments.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think your bill's great, man. Yep, no
Thank
doubt.
you, man.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Thanks. And I'm like I said, I'm planning on it being running and driving for Beatersville in Louisville. It's in May, so I'm really.
What color is it?
The pickle jar.
Yeah.
It is a satin green apple. It's a Rust-Oleum rattle can. That whole thing's rattle can. Just to get it back home.
I've got that color. I reckon.
On completely like painting it nice. Man, after I've got it home and been driving it around,
I love it.
I am going to paint it back, but it's going to be that color. Like I've grown to love the thing.
Is that those 2X cans?
What is it now?
2X on them?
No, the big cans. I don't think them work all that well. They put too much paint out.
No. There's these Rust-Oleum ones here, and they have 2X or something written on them.
That's what that is. That's what that is. It's the 2 times coverage. Yeah, it's that one is what it is.
Okay.
It's like a paint in primer. To be honest with you,
I've got them.
like
I reckon I've got that color. I love that color.
What is the bubble on the side of the door there? What is that?
So that is like, I don't know, like if you've ever seen an Isetta, they have a vent there.
Right.
And I thought since my engine's going to be there, it would be a way that I could light that up so my kids could see the motor and transmission. So it's like, a van's bubble window.
Yeah.
For the kids to see the engine, was the whole idea behind it.
I could put my dog there.
That's what that window is for. Like, it's just off Amazon. It's like a cheap dog see outside, like porthole window.
Right.
I like it.
Shoo. All right. Well, we've been over an hour, Copperhead, and I've had a ball.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but Mikey, I'm gonna keep up with you. We're gonna get you back on. You need to join us again.
100%.
Heck yeah, guys. I had fun. It was good getting to know you guys. And I mean, it sounds like I've already got work to do for a race. So hey, thanks, guys.
I'll hook you up with John, and the rest of these guys will fall in. They do all this live streaming stuff. You need to jump in on that and try to help everybody else.
A lot of these guys in the comments are all part of that No Name National community as well.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting that group too. That's gonna be fun.
There you go. That'll work. Well, it's up to you folks. We're gonna ease on out of here. Y'all go check out From Paper to Pavement on YouTube. And then what is your Instagram? You got your Instagram. You do a lot of stuff on that.
Yeah, it's Mikey Brown 1957. And I do a lot of day-to-day stuff on there. And then everything that you see on there that you get involved in and grow to love will all be long form on YouTube. They're all movies being made right now.
All right, and Copperhead, he's got all of his stuff going on down in Australia, and I'm up down here in Georgia. So what does he say in there? Bad Tree Production. I love Bad Tree, man. You need to go check them out.
His name Beers All. Yeah. And NSB says John goes live every Friday. That's John Wilburn, goes live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, and go check out Bad Tree.
Get on there and join in with all the shenanigans in the No Name National community.
I will.
You'll check out Bad Trees on Facebook and Instagram too. They got a lot of stuff going on, so that works. Folks, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back next Monday. I don't know who we're going to have next Monday, but we're going to try to have somebody on here. But
thank you guys so much for having me. For real, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a
pleasure, buddy.
Yep, no doubt about it. Folks, y'all be good. Tell everybody bye.
See you later.